Okay, it's Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. It's the 31st of December, and this is going to be the third installment of Mangalitsa privilege. Mangalitsa privilege. And what I'm trying to do is draw a distinction between a pig that's raised in a CAFO, which I explained in the last video, and a pig that is raised on pasture. And so now we're on pasture, and let's talk about pasture a little bit for 10 minutes here, what it is and what it isn't. All right. If you have a small field and you have pigs on it constantly and nothing is allowed to grow up, that is not pasture. And you know, you think about it, you're not going to gain anything by doing that. I mean, it's a place to keep your pigs. And I'm not saying that these pigs are never on bare dirt, like on this grow field right here. Once they took off every single turnip, or these were radishes, and then dug down and got all the tips of them, they're on bare dirt now. Under the snow is bare dirt. But, you know, that's wintertime, and there's not much you can do about that. I suppose I could trailer them someplace where I can still get on pasture. But let's talk about pasture a little bit, because I saw a picture the other day, and it was this picture of these animals. They looked like Iberico pigs, and they were out on this bucolic setting, you know, on this lush green fields, and it looked just beautiful. It was an aerial shot. And I thought, well, that is a misrepresentation, because if you have a beautiful hay field and you think that you're going to put these pigs out on it and they're just going to eat the tops of the hay off, you know, and they're just going to graze it, you are seriously mistaken. What these animals will do, see these guys, look at, they're going wild on this bale, is they will dig. And they were made to dig, right? Every muscle in their little bodies is connected to that nose. And so they get plenty of exercise when they dig, and you want them to dig. And if you go with it, if you go with their, like Joel Salatin says, their piggedness, if you go with that, they will do the work for you, because you don't need a lot of equipment to raise these pigs. You've got to have a fenced-in area, fenced-in pasture. But once it's planted, they will go through and they will eat everything. Like, let's say you have a hay field that you want to sacrifice. You fence it off. You know, it's so cold that my phone goes to low battery real quick. You fence it off, you put the pigs on it, they'll take every blade of grass off and root the whole thing up. You get them off, you go in there and you broadcast seed it with turnips, radishes, pumpkin seeds, and then when you put them back on it, they're going to have so much forage there, they're going to be happy and fat. They're going to get heavy on that, and it's good for them. They'll be nice, healthy pigs when they're doing that, digging. Their noses are attached to every muscle on their body, and that's what creates the red meat. Gets all that hemoglobin into their meat, and it makes it nice and red, and that's perfect for charcuterie and fresh meat eating. And that's what will make a premium Mangalitsa hog, a premium. Okay, next subject. I throw around terms like hay and straw, and a lot of you farmers out there are going to say, well, this is rudimentary. Well, you can turn off the video right now, because to some people it isn't. Before I got into this, I didn't know the difference between hay and straw and hay. I had no idea. But I am betting right now it's 8 below, and so you can see they are not stressed out. I mean, they don't know that it's 8 below. They're just as happy as they can be. And I've got a bale here of straw, and this happens to be barley straw, so it's pretty clean. Around here, when they plant barley, they don't spray it. They don't need to, so it's clean. I know that they're going to be safe. And this bale is going to be cut. It's a 750 pounder, I think. I'm going to cut the strings on it, and when I do, it's just going to fall apart. I mean, I won't be able to pick the rest of it up with my loader and bring it any place. I will have to pick it up arm load at a time. So I decided what I would do is bring it in here, roll it over to this position, open it up, fill their huts with a pitchfork, and then leave the rest of it right there. And they'll make good on it. This is a pasture, you know, this is a grow area. So I want to make sure that they don't get too much on the ground right here. Now that is what's left of a 750-pound hay bale. And hay is different. Hay is grass. Grass is. And we cut it in the summertime. You see it's still green. And then we do a quick dry on it in the sun and then bale it up and put it in the barn, keep it there. I like to keep it in the barn if I can. If I have too much, sometimes I can't. But pigs, this pig especially, will eat it. And if you kind of train them towards it, when I come out here with a bale and drop it, they go wild on it. That bale right there had strings on it, and I didn't cut them. They did. And the strings are gone. I use thistle. They eat it. I don't know why, but they do. I've been doing it for years, doesn't hurt them. You see, this is different. Straw is what's left when you grow small grains like barley. I prefer barley for small grains for these animals. They go through with a combine and it just takes off the kernels, the barley kernels. And then the stalks and the leaves are chucked out the back of the combine, and then they go back through and they bale it up. I don't do it. That's not one of my things. But there's a guy locally that does it, and I can get a bale like this for $30 delivered to me. You can't go wrong. I mean, when you're bedding animals, the difference between hay and straw is night and day as well. And you can even test that for yourself. If you lay down in a pile of hay and then you lay down in a pile of straw. You lay down in a pile of straw, if you fall asleep, after a while you start getting prickly because it gets so warm. It is that warm. And you know, I can't say enough about it. When you're doing a pastured system like this, you have to consider the pasture. You know, I'm thinking ahead, thinking I'm gonna have to plant this in a couple of months. I mean, winter is almost over. It's going to be January. Winter's going to be gone. I only got a few more months of it. I can't believe it. It goes by so fast. But then I'll be out here. I'll run a disc over this real quick, level it out, make it look nice just because I want it to look nice. Doesn't have to. And then I'll come out and I'll broadcast seed on it, get them off. They'll be over there, or they might be down in one of the grower fields. And then this will just explode with growth. And then when I put them back on, it's really fun because you can't even, I'll put small ones and you can't even see them. And they become wild again because they don't see me for a long time. And it's really fun. Okay. I think that's it. I'm going to just keep spouting off this information about the Mangalitsa privilege in hopes that when people do get into it, they try to click off as many boxes as they can with the things that they're able to do. You know, the pasturing things, and you know, there's so many aspects to this that if everybody starts thinking about this, there'll be a lot more ideas that come in. I mean, I'll tell you a great idea, especially if you like to mow lawns like I do. I have a sit-down lawnmower that my wife thought I spent too much money on. But I don't call it cutting the lawn. I call it harvesting the lawn. Huh? So then I bring the clippings and I feed it to the pigs. So nothing goes to waste. Nothing goes to waste when you raise pigs. All right, this is Mark from Baker's Green Acres. Remember, anyone can farm. Try to stay warm, and see you next year.